What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's goal, all right, get this car. I'm not gonna say all the way tuned because we're getting such a late start. I had helped Bobby a ton this morning on her launch and her website. So it's already 3:30, but we need to install our AFR gauge before we can tune. And yesterday, when I was talking about that little OBD2 connector, this guy right here, all right? This is what we needed from the black Evo 8. So we pulled that off. We have our wideband, we have our laptop, it's fully charged up, we're ready to go. All we have to do is install this boy, and install the base mount, and we're good to go. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm really hoping that either the test pipe or the downpipe has a bung for this sensor, for the gauge. So if it doesn't, then we're gonna have to pull off something. Go have a bung welded in, come back, and then we can get to work. So we got that bummy bung out. We got the plug out. Now, where that was, we're gonna put the sensor. And then the sensor, we're probably gonna route it probably up to this plug right here where the rear O2 sensor is at. Lower the car back down, get all the wiring finished up, and we can send it. So the wiring connector was too big to fit up through the bottom, so I'm dropping the sensor part down through the hole in the floor from the top. We're gonna set it up for data logging. So one more thing that you will need if you are e-tuning, with the AEM wideband gauge, you need this. It's a USB serial adapter. So I got that off Amazon, and then this is like some sort of custom made harness type thing. Wherever I picked that up, I'll link that down below. But this is so you can data log the AFRs as well as the ECU at the same damn time. Where are we gonna have this here? So. Sick. Shall we go rip? All right, so if our gauge turns on right now, we'll be aight. And we're ready to go. Sick. All right, we're ready to go. So here's what we needed this little dongle for. This is the Tactrix 2.0. This is gonna plug into the OBD2 port on the car. This cable plugs into the laptop. This plugs in right next to the OBD2 port and then runs over and plugs in right there. Everything's plugged in. We have our map selected. Let's write this boy over to the ECU. Get a cool start for the boys. I can dig it. The old tuning it is mechanical unit. It goes all the way in there. Weird. I'll send him the log, see what he says, I guess. It actually runs. Actually, I forgot the cutting out issue. Other than that, it's good. All right, we got the first logs done and sent over. The car is having like a weird cutting out issue. It almost feels like it's a mechanical issue, not a tuning issue. It almost feels like the car just completely shuts off, and then you'll just like keep trying to drive and it'll fire back up. It's really weird. So I sent over the logs. We're gonna wait to hear back from Chad. We're gonna head back to the shop right now, and I'm gonna just look it over, see if anything weird is going on. But if not, we're just gonna keep on tuning, and it already runs really good though. Way better than it did before. I think we have some sort of charging issue going on. I don't know if it's alternator, because when cutting out, is it on tipping or? I was just logging it and I was watching the voltage, and we were at like 12.5 to 13 volts as we were cruising, and it should be like 14 plus. So I'm gonna go through, check everything. The previous owner did put a brand new alternator in there, and it does look brand new, so I don't think that's the problem. But there are some fuses that control the charging system. If you guys remember the black Evo 8, we had that same problem. So, all this jankiness going on, I'm gonna pull apart. Like why? Why did you do this? Why do people do this shit? So we are at 12.4 volts there, that's good. That's good. Okay. Why does it drop? 11.87. As I started the car, I saw a ground wire flopping around. That was funny. So if that's not grounded, that's your cutting out issue. I don't know if it's gonna fix your voltage issue. I love easy fixes. Hell yeah! That may have been my fault, I don't know. I don't know if I ever pulled that off. I don't know why I would have. But either way, it's fixed. All right, so that right there, I guarantee you, was the cutting out issue we were experiencing. It's probably just bouncing off that housing right there. I don't think it's gonna fix our voltage issue, but it might. I'm not all that good with electrical. Yeah, we're only at 12.2 volts right now. I hope it's not an alternator. All right, boys, revision number 2. I'm monitoring the battery level, the voltage as well right now, and it's going up. It's at 13.7 now. Still low, but it's better. As long as that cutting out issue is fixed, we should be all right. Oh, so fast. 3.3 PSI. Now we're down to 12.17 volts. So this thing's whack. Now it's at 11 volts. Sick! AFR's good. Dude, this thing runs so good now. Well, safe to say that issue is definitely resolved. It's definitely that ground. Revision 3. So, this time we are going to send it a little hard. 3 to 7,000 RPM, 2 poles. It's just on wastegate, so it's going to be like 10 PSI. Ooh, that startup though. Wow. Hey, we're at 13 volts right now. We're good. I gotta get a cruise first, 5-minute cruise, and then two poles. This car's way too quiet. Shape head coming soon. We had to make a quick run back to the shop. As we were doing that last cruise, the voltage kept dropping. We were all the way down to like 9 volts, 9.2, 9.3 volts. So obviously I'm not gonna do 3 to 7,000 RPM poles on hardly any voltage. So yeah, we're gonna get the car up in the air. I'm gonna check out the alternator, make sure everything's hooked up there. Just check over everything on the ground on the car because we already had one loose one. I hope it's not the alternator though. That would suck because they're kind of, actually, Alternator on the lift would be easy. It'd be cake. And I know, we need to mod this out. We need some ramps. Huh. Let me reach up in here. Oh, it's all burnt. Why is it so burnt? Like loose, I understand, but crusty and burnt? Like someone just took a dunk on it and just hit it with a torch? Nah, I'm betting once I tighten it, it should be fine. Alright, what do you think? You think it'll be fixed? 14 volts, baby. It's always the easy fix. Not always, but usually. Especially when you buy a clunker like this. The more I look at this car, the more like missing bolts and missing hardware. I mean, as a whole, the car is decent, but I feel like the whole motor and tranny should be pulled out to break in the new lift and just like to fix little things. Like that, like we just fixed. So yeah, 14 volts we should be good now. Should we go do some pulls? We're gonna go out one last time tonight and get all this stuff done. What do we have for voltage? 5 minutes cruise, 2 pulls, and we should be good. Damn, that seems solid. It's so rattly. Why the fuck is it rattling? Yeah, this thing's gonna be a little ripper when she's finished. I'm excited to see how this turbo feels. I'm just curious about the rattles. Do you hear them all?
Yeah.
It sounds like a feedbacker. Let me flip around and do another rattly pull. Dude, it kind of is a little ripper. Wow.
Bro, that feels good.
That's a cop. She actually feels pretty good. It's just on wastegate right now. My boost gauge is not hooked up. But if I had to guess, well, I could look at the logs, but if I had to guess, it's probably on like 10 PSI, 11 PSI, and it's actually kind of a ripper. So when we turn it up to like 20, 25, 30, she's gonna be a ripper. A real ripper. And then we put a big old turbo on it, boy. 80 PSI on 6.2, wow. I don't even know what to say, bro. She's just so fast. You never experienced that kind of power. All right, my fam, that is me for tonight. Super, super stoked with how this car is running. Just sent over the last 30 data logs to Chad. We are going to finish up tuning tomorrow. But yeah, it runs good. The 2 issues that we were having were both super easy fixes. Both loose wires, actually, so that was sick. What else? Anything else to update the boys on? Lift works good, FRS is dusty. So tomorrow, we're gonna finish up tuning. Tomorrow, I wanna fix all the wrap on the car that we're having issues with. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Peace.